Coordinated, episode 210. What's new in part 2?
Greetings, AP coordinators. I am Derek Cometa, Senior Director, AP Coordinator Experience for the AP program and former AP Coordinator.
And I'm Karli Suge, School Counselor and AP Coordinator.
Thanks for joining us. We are ready to share some key information today. We have a very special guest, and who knows, maybe a rap video might break out in the middle of the podcast. Get ready. As always, this is the right place to be to hear all the latest and greatest in the world of AP coordinators.
Let's get to it. You're ready. I'm ready. At least I think I'm ready. No one told me about a rap video. Hello, friends. Crank up your boombox. It's time to get coordinated.
Good morning, Karli.
Hey, Derek. Good morning to you as well. You look wide awake and ready to go.
I am. I love doing our podcast, but I'm especially excited about this particular episode. We're establishing an annual tradition of sorts.
You're right. Let's set the stage. So back at the start of the school year, AP coordinators, like me, downloaded a PDF of the AP Coordinators Manual, Part 1. Part 1 got us through basically everything we needed to know up through the ordering deadline on November 15th. And now, Part 2 of the manual is out in both PDF and printed versions. Time to get serious about planning and administering our AP exams.
That's right. You could say Part 1 was just the start. Now it's time to chart everything we need to include on our testing cart. Oh my gosh, I made a rhyme. What do you think, Karli? Maybe I should quit my day job, start a new career, writing lyrics for famous rappers.
Maybe you should not quit your day job. At least not for another 15 minutes until we're done recording this episode. After that,
Oh, whatever. Crushing my dreams. Gosh, way to have my back, Karli. Fortunately, I do have a colleague who does have my back. Actually, she's here for all of us, not just me, all AP coordinators worldwide. She is Director, AP Exam and Operational Publications. She is one of the editors of the AP Coordinators Manuals. I call her the editor, but she insists on sharing the credit. She is a friend of all AP coordinators. Welcome back, Kim Casey.
Thanks for having me on the show again, Derek. And someone who does write for a living, I don't think it's fair for me to comment on your songwriting skills. Just keep working at it, or maybe not.
All right. I hear you too. I think this is a good time. I'm going to take a quick break to gather my shattered dreams up off the floor. Friends, this is going to be the Kim and Karli show for the next few minutes as they take us through some of the major highlights in the newly released AP Coordinators Manual Part 2. In other words, we are here for you to talk about what's new in Part 2.
Oh, Derek, that is so bad. Kim, it seems like it's up to us to save this episode. If nothing else, Derek did succeed in setting the bar very low. So we should get started.
Sounds good.
So you'll be happy to know that I did have a chance to speed read through the manual.
Happy to hear that. Good job.
You made it pretty easy for me with the usage of the little icon that has the word new in it. Very helpful. Easy to pick that out. Thank you. Oh, and a more comprehensive deep read is coming up, I promise. Gosh, I feel like I'm back in school again, explaining to my teacher why I did some, but not all of the homework.
You're welcome. And your homework isn't due for a little while. Plenty of time. The sooner the better, though.
Right. Especially since there are a few things, actually more than a few things this year that are new. Things that caught my eye. Are you ready to chat about them?
Ready.
I just said caught my eye. So let's stay with the visual theme here for a moment. I'm liking the new icon for SSD.
Glad to hear it. We added that to help do exactly that, catch your eye. We know the manual is long, so we hope this helps. Naturally, the SSD icon indicates where content on SSD can be found.
Yep, I love that. Another nice visual touch is the new table showing testing room requirements for different types of accommodations. The content is the same, but I think it's easy to read and use now. Page 106 for reference. Don't try to look that up if you're driving right now.
Yes, please wait until you're back at school. Also, while we're talking about SSD, there are a couple of new things that I wanted to share, if that's all right.
Please do.
Great. So there is now information on extended time for AP Computer Science Principles and AP Precalculus, page 114 and 117 respectively. And there's also new information about accessible technology for Braille or ATC versions of Precalculus, pages 104 and 105.
I'm glad you brought this up because I'm looking at my notes. I had one other thing regarding AP Precalculus if we're done with SSD.
I think we are.
Great. I noticed that we now have information about calculators for the new exam. Actually, it's a table on page, let's see, what page is this? Page 64.
Correct. The table features calculators that have the expected built-in capabilities for the AP Precalculus exam. There's quite a few.
Okay, so that's SSD and AP Precalculus, two things that impact many schools. We do have something to talk about that impacts all schools, and that's packing exam materials for return. I see that I have some new party favors for my packing party.
Glad you mentioned this. A few updates here. First, on page 90, we have two tables. One that details what to do and what not to do when preparing exam materials for shipping. The other table includes what to return and what not to return.
Great, thank you. What else did you provide for my packing party?
I think you'll like page 92. The table on that page has been simplified to focus on returns of multiple cartons. Most schools do return more than one box. And if you do have only one box, there's information on that just below the table as well.
Something for everyone. And now the big moment. Kim, I have to say that out of everything, this one made me smile the most.
Glad to hear you say that. This is something that AP coordinators brought to our attention. We're happy to provide an updated packing diagram this year. And it's a packing diagram that more clearly indicates how to pack each box in a shipment with multiple boxes.
Yes, love, love, love the new packing diagram on page 93. I don't have the biggest AP program, but every year I'm still packing multiple boxes. So much better. Thank you.
You are most welcome.
All right, so I saved my two biggest ones for last. Are we ready?
I was wondering when you were going to get to these. I'm ready.
Here's a date for you, Kim. May 10. What's new regarding May 10th?
So this is regarding AP Seminar and AP Research. Here's the part that hasn't changed. Students in AP Seminar and AP Research submit performance tasks in the AP Digital Portfolio by no later than April 30th, 2024, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time.
Right. And AP teachers must score the presentations and complete attestations for required checkpoints as well. But that deadline used to be the same date as the one for students, but not anymore. This is such great news.
Now the deadline for AP teachers to complete their tasks is May 10th, 2024 at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time.
I really like this, and here's why. Now, our AP teachers have enough time to complete their tasks without having to push up the deadline for students, which is what a lot of schools were doing. This is a great change. Thanks, Kim.
Actually, I think the credit goes back to schools. They're the ones who provided the feedback that got this change implemented.
That's wonderful. All right, one more big update.
Yep, I bet I can guess which one.
3 letters for you, Kim. CSP. as in AP Computer Science Principles.
And 3 more letters, PPR, as in the new personalized project reference.
So let me see if I understand this correctly. For AP Computer Science Principles, prior to exam day, AP coordinators will need to print the personalized project reference for each student taking the exam. We can do this from the AP Digital Portfolio. And we do this because students need their personalized project reference to answer the questions during the exam.
You got it. That's all correct. Coordinators, not teachers, will need to print out the PPR for each student and hand them out with other materials on exam day.
Hey, Derek, can you unmute yourself and jump back in here?
Yes, boss. I'm here. What is it?
Did you know about this new thing we have to do for AP Computer Science Principles?
Yes.
This needs some additional conversation, don't you think? We need to talk about this more. Like maybe have an entire episode dedicated to this. We need to spread the word.
Yes, I agree. Great idea. Whatever you say, we can make that happen.
Great. Fortunately, Kim, please correct me if I'm wrong. Fortunately, there's nothing AP coordinators need to do or worry about at this moment in February. So Derek has a little time to get that episode scheduled, which I'm sure he will do.
You are correct. Nothing needs to happen right away. And by the way, I'm liking how you so easily boss Derek around. I can't wait to share this at our next staff meeting.
Oh boy. Well, when you look at the time, I think it's about time for you to go, Kim. Thanks. Thanks. I think for joining the show today. And Karli, always a pleasure to share a good conversation with you.
The pleasure was all mine. Can we wrap this up?
I like how you ask me like I'm in charge here. Of course. Let's wrap it up with our coordinated episode, Call to Action.
AP coordinators, it's never too early to start reading our AP Coordinators Manual Part 2. Please check it out. Check out the highlights we talked about in this episode, and be sure to check out our upcoming episodes. We'll be diving into some very specific topics to help everyone prepare for exam day. A successful spring is on the way. Get ready with us here on Coordinated.
AP coordinators, we hope you enjoyed our conversation about what's new in Part 2. Thanks again to Karli and Kim, and thanks to you. On behalf of AP Program Delivery and the AP Coordinator Experience team, AP coordinators, we do absolutely appreciate you. And for all your support of AP students, AP coordinators, you are truly good as gold.
Just don't know. I'll say it over and over and over again till I believe it's so. I'm good as gold.
AP coordinators, despite your best intentions, did you miss out on the AP Coordinator Back to School Workshop?
Fear not. The Back to School Workshop is now available on YouTube.
That's right. And we have 2 on-demand videos available. One for new AP coordinators and one for those with a little more experience.
Or watch them both.
Great idea. Check out the show notes for a link to the videos.
Or you can go to collegeboard.org/AP Coordinator Experience. That's collegeboard.org/AP Coordinator Experience.
Get your popcorn ready. This is one more summer blockbuster you won't want to miss.